It's often said that those who fail to plan, plan to fail. So this week, we are going to be talking about 7 tips on how to have a successful performance by planning ahead. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Voice Tip video series with the Cantor Coach. This week we are going to be talking a little bit more about how to combat that performance anxiety by planning ahead. So we're going to cover 7 tips today, and this is going to help you to be really successful and bring your best self to any of your performances. Let's get started. Tip number 1 is to get a good night's sleep the night before. Our voices don't function the best possible way unless we get good rest and a good night's sleep. So make sure we're getting plenty of sleep the night before you sing. Tip number 2 is don't drink any dairy products right before you sing. This can kind of create a coating and sometimes can create excess mucus that can hinder you when you sing and may throw you for a loop. So be wary of the dairy. Tip number 3 is not to drink any acidic juice or any excess alcohol the night before. Now, what this does, especially for the juice or acid that can be created in those fruits like oranges or grapefruit juice, you name it, is that can create excess acid in your stomach. I know some people get acid reflux, which can cause your voice to be a little bit hoarse in the morning, and so we want to avoid that as much as possible. So avoid drinking acidic juice the day of or the night before. Tip number 4 is to make sure that we are not overusing our voice the night before or the day before. You may want to go out with friends on a Friday night, or maybe you're going to a game on Saturday, but just make sure we're not shouting or yelling or in a loud restaurant where we're having to talk above the noise, because that can create a little bit of swelling in our vocal cords, and so we might be a little bit hoarse on Sunday. So just try to be mindful and aware of how much we're using our voices and in how much excess we're using our voices on both Friday and Saturday. Tip number 5 is to make sure that we are eating breakfast the day of a performance. So it is so important to have energy when we sing, because singing is a whole body experience and sometimes it can be a workout. So make sure you're eating something that isn't going to upset your stomach. I have said in a previous video, I love to eat bananas about an hour or so before I sing. This really helps to settle my stomach, or eat something else that's maybe a little bit more bland if you know that you're prone to those nervous butterflies. Tip number 6 is to bring water with you. I'm always talking about bringing water and staying hydrated, but it's really important when you are going to a performance not only to drink water beforehand, but to bring some with you. And the reason for this is because you might be halfway through a song, or you might be halfway through the church service or the mass, and you may need a drink of water, and if you don't have one on hand, it can kind of again throw you for a loop, or you might be a little bit parched the rest of the performance. Tip number 7 is to warm up before you sing. Now, everybody has a different warm-up routine. Next week we're going to be talking about what kind of warm-up routine I typically do before I go to sing for Mass on Sunday and how I prepare for that. So we'll stay tuned for next time on that warm-up routine. Thank you guys so much, and please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you.